Imagine for a moment that you are standing on the precipice of everything you've ever desired. You've spent years working, striving, hoping that someday, somehow, the life you dream of will appear before you. But here's the truth. The life you desire is not out there waiting to find you. It is not hidden behind circumstances or hidden doors. It is already within you, locked inside your mind and your imagination. The key to unlocking it is realizing that you are not waiting for life to give you what you want. You must start by assuming that it is already yours. At the very core of this understanding is the concept of assumption. Assumption is not just a mental exercise or a passing thought. It is the deep-rooted belief that the thing you desire is already yours. It is the inner conviction that the thing you seek is not something in the future, but something that already exists in your present reality. When you fully assume that your desire is already fulfilled, you are no longer chasing after it. You are living in the reality where it already exists. Now, you may ask, how can I live in the assumption of something I don't yet have? How can I believe in something that seems so far away, so unreachable? This is where the true power lies. The power is in your ability to imagine. Imagine your life as it will be when your desire is realized. See it, feel it, live it, just as if it were already a part of your world. This is not mere fantasy or daydreaming, it is the act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. And in assuming it, you are creating it. This is the law that governs the universe. The power of assumption works on the basis that what you assume to be true about yourself, about your life, will eventually manifest into reality. Take a moment to consider this. When you assume that your dream life, your ideal situation is already here, you change the way you think and act. You no longer approach life from a place of lack or need. Instead, you operate from a place of abundance and certainty. Your thoughts align with your desire, your actions follow suit, and the universe begins to mirror your inner state. The world around you is a reflection of what is within you, and when you assume that your desires are already fulfilled, the world must rearrange itself to match that assumption. Think of a time in your life when you felt completely confident, when you knew without a shadow of a doubt that what you wanted was going to happen. In those moments, did you feel any hesitation or doubt? Did you question whether you deserved it or wonder if it was possible? No. You simply knew. You lived in the assumption that it was inevitable. And that certainty created the space for your desires to come to life. The difference between those moments of success and the times when you feel stuck or unsure is the assumption. When you assume something, you are creating a vibrational match to it. The world does not ask for proof of your assumption. It simply follows it. This is the key. Assume that the life you want is already yours. Assume that the wealth you desire, the relationships you seek, the health you crave, the success you dream of, they are already part of your reality. You do not need to wait for external circumstances to change in order to feel the feelings associated with your success. You must create those feelings first, from within. Feel the joy of having what you desire. The peace that comes with knowing that you are already living the life you want. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the freedom, and as you feel it, the universe will respond by reflecting those feelings back to you. You must understand that your physical world is simply a mirror of your inner world. If you continue to focus on what you do not have, you are affirming the lack, and the world will continue to reflect that back to you. However, if you begin to focus on what you already have and on the abundance that already exists within you, the universe will respond by bringing more of that into your life. The key to creating wealth, success, and happiness is not to focus on the external factors or the obstacles in your way. It is to focus on the feeling of already having what you want. It is important to remember that this process does not require you to know how or when your desires will manifest. You do not need to figure out the steps, the path, or the details. The how is not your concern. Your job is to live in the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled, and to allow the universe to bring it to you in its own time and in its own way. The how will reveal itself when you align with the feeling of having already received your desire. Many people fail to understand this because they are looking for the results first. They want to see the evidence of their success before they believe it is possible. But the universe works in the opposite way. Believe first and the results will follow. The evidence of your assumption comes after you assume it, not before. When you truly assume that your desire is already a part of your life, the evidence will naturally follow. The outer world is simply a reflection of what you believe to be true about yourself and the world around you. And so I urge you to stop waiting for the world to give you permission to be successful, to be happy, to be wealthy. The world will never give you permission because it is waiting for you to give yourself permission. You must believe, first and foremost, that you are worthy of the life you desire. You must believe that you are capable of creating your own reality, that you have the power to shape your world through your thoughts and beliefs. So from this moment forward, live in the assumption of your success. Assume that everything you desire is already a part of your world. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction of having it now, and watch as the universe aligns to bring it to you. The life you desire is already yours. You need only assume it. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to achieve success effortlessly, while others struggle for years without seeing any tangible results? What if I told you that the difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck isn't necessarily talent, hard work, or connections? It is the belief in their own inner power. Success is not just about what you do, it is about who you believe yourself to be. And at the core of this belief is the understanding that your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions about yourself shape your reality. It's easy to think that your current circumstances define your potential. You look around, see where you are, and think that your future is tied to your present. But in truth, your future has nothing to do with where you are now. It has everything to do with how you see yourself and how you perceive the possibilities that are available to you. If you can change the way you see yourself, you can change the way the world sees you, and in turn, the way the world responds to you. The world outside of you is simply a reflection of your inner world. When you believe that you are capable, worthy, and deserving of success, the world will mirror that belief. But if you believe that you are limited by your circumstances, that success is out of reach, or that you are not good enough, the world will reflect those limitations as well. This is not just a philosophical concept. It is a universal truth that governs every aspect of your life. You see, most people look at the external world and allow it to shape their beliefs. They see the lack of money, the challenges in their career, or the difficulties in their relationships, and they assume that these external factors are the reason they are not achieving what they want. They believe that their situation dictates their future. But the truth is, it is the belief about the situation that shapes their future, not the situation itself. When you change your inner state, your beliefs, your assumptions, and your feelings, you can change your reality, regardless of what is happening outside of you. This understanding opens up a world of possibilities. When you stop seeing your circumstances as obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities for growth and change, you begin to unlock the potential that lies within you. Your mind is a powerful tool, and by consciously directing your thoughts, you can create the reality you desire. But it all starts with a simple yet profound shift in mindset. To illustrate this, think about the concept of assumption. Assumption is the act of assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, of imagining and living as though you already have what you desire. This is not about wishful thinking or hoping for something to happen. It is about truly embodying the feeling of already having what you want. When you live in the assumption that you are already successful, already wealthy, already fulfilled, you begin to act in alignment with that belief. You carry yourself differently, you speak differently, and you make decisions from a place of abundance rather than lack. The power of assumption lies in the fact that the subconscious mind does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. When you assume a feeling of success or abundance, Your subconscious mind begins to accept that assumption as truth. As a result, you begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with that truth. The world, which is a reflection of your inner beliefs, must now conform to the assumption you have made. This is not magic. This is the natural law of cause and effect in action. Your inner world shapes your outer world. But like anything else, this process requires faith, not in the external world, but in your own ability to create the reality you desire. Faith is the belief that the world will align with your inner assumptions, even when there is no external evidence to support it. It is trusting that the feeling of success you have assumed is not only valid, but inevitable. And this faith becomes the driving force that propels you toward your desires. Consider this. Have you ever experienced a moment when you were so certain of something that nothing could shake your belief? Perhaps it was a job you knew you were going to get, or a relationship you felt destined for. In that moment of certainty, did you doubt the outcome? No, you acted from a place of knowing. Your belief in your own success was so strong that the world had no choice but to confirm it. This is the essence of the power of assumption. When you assume something to be true with such conviction, you align your thoughts, actions, and energy with that assumption. The world has no choice but to reflect back the energy you are emitting. You become a magnet for the circumstances that match your inner state. It's also important to note that time is irrelevant in this process. Too often we become frustrated when results don't appear immediately. But time is just a construct. What matters is the energy you put out into the world and the consistency with which you hold that energy. If you live in the assumption of your success every day, no matter what is happening around you, the universe will eventually rearrange itself to bring your desires into your life. The process might take time, but the law of assumption is always working, even when you don't see the results right away. One of the greatest misconceptions is that you need to earn your success. This belief is rooted in the idea that success is something outside of you, something that must be obtained through effort, struggle, and hard work. But success is not something that you need to chase. It is something that already exists within you, waiting to be expressed. Your inner state of being is what attracts success, not your external efforts. When you assume the feeling of already being successful, you are aligning with the natural flow of abundance and opportunity. When you begin to operate from the assumption that success is inevitable, the external world has no choice but to catch up. You will start to see opportunities where there were none before. People will begin to respond to you differently. And most importantly, you will begin to make decisions and take actions that align with your assumption of success. You will no longer be waiting for the world to give you permission. You will be living as if it has already given you everything you desire. So as you continue on your journey, remember this: your success does not depend on the outside world. It depends on your belief in yourself, your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and your unwavering faith that the world must reflect your inner state. When you embrace this truth, you unlock the power to create the life you desire. And in that process, you will discover that success was never something to be earned. It was always something to be assumed. The foundation of all great achievements lies not in external circumstances, but in the state of mind that precedes them. You may have heard people say that the difference between success and failure is in the actions one takes, or perhaps in the opportunities that present themselves. But the truth is, neither actions nor opportunities are the true driving forces behind success. They are simply the outward expressions of a deeper, more profound inner force, the power of belief. If you understand this truth, you will realize that you are not bound by your circumstances, your past, or your present reality. You have the ability to reshape your future by changing the way you see yourself and the way you see the world. It is not the external circumstances that define your potential, but rather the internal beliefs you hold about what is possible for you. Your thoughts and feelings are far more powerful than any material possession or situation you currently find yourself in. If you can change your beliefs about what is possible, you will change your life. Because your outer world, everything you experience in your day-to-day life, is a direct result of the thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs you hold within you. When you begin to shift your inner state, you create the conditions for the external world to reflect those changes. Now, let's explore the nature of belief. Belief is often misunderstood as a passive or theoretical concept. We are taught to believe in things that we can see, hear, or touch, things that are tangible and measurable. But true belief, the kind that transforms your life, is not dependent on what you can see with your eyes. True belief is the acceptance of something as already true, even before it has manifested in your physical reality. It is the ability to live in the assumption that your desire is already a reality, even when the outer world gives no indication of it. The moment you believe in something, you begin to align with it. Your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. Everything begins to align with the belief you hold. If you believe you are capable of achieving success, for example, your actions will reflect that belief. You will move with purpose and confidence, knowing that success is inevitable. Conversely, if you believe that success is unattainable or that you are not deserving of it, your actions will mirror that belief, and you will find yourself stuck in a cycle of frustration and doubt. Your beliefs shape your actions, and your actions shape your reality. This process can be compared to a seed being planted in the ground. The seed does not question whether it will grow into a tree. It simply follows the law of nature and assumes that with time it will reach its full potential. Similarly, when you plant the seed of belief in your mind, you must also allow it the time and space to grow. Belief is not something that you can force or rush. Just as a seed needs the right conditions to sprout and grow, your belief needs to be nurtured with patience, consistency, and trust. It requires that you persist in living as though your desire is already fulfilled, even when the world around you may suggest otherwise. In order to make this shift, you must first identify the beliefs that are limiting you. These beliefs are often deeply ingrained, shaped by your past experiences, societal conditioning, and the opinions of others. They are the stories you tell yourself about what is possible for you, about what you deserve, and about what you can achieve. These stories can be powerful, and in many cases they are so deeply embedded in your subconscious that they influence your thoughts and actions without you even realizing it. But the key to transforming your life lies in identifying and changing these limiting beliefs. You must consciously decide to release the beliefs that no longer serve you and replace them with new beliefs that align with your desires. One of the most powerful ways to change your beliefs is through affirmations and visualization. These tools allow you to actively shape your inner world by repetitively focusing on the belief that your desires are already fulfilled. When you affirm that you are successful, abundant, or healthy, and when you visualize yourself living your ideal life, you begin to train your mind to accept these beliefs as truth. Over time, this repetition begins to break down the old, limiting beliefs and replace them with new, empowering ones. Your mind no longer questions your success because it believes it to be a natural and inevitable outcome. However, belief alone is not enough. It is not enough to simply think that you are successful or that you have already achieved your goals. Your belief must be accompanied by the feeling of already having what you desire. This is where many people fail. They may affirm their goals and visualize their success, but they fail to cultivate the emotional state that aligns with their desires. Belief is not just a mental exercise, it is an emotional one as well. When you believe that your desires are already realized, you must feel the emotions that would naturally accompany their fulfillment. Feel the joy, the pride, the gratitude, whatever emotions would arise if your dreams were already a reality. These feelings will fuel your belief and help solidify your assumption that your desires are already manifesting. The feeling of fulfillment is powerful because it sends a message to your subconscious mind that you are in alignment with your desire. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It responds to the feelings you experience as if they are real, which is why it is so important to fully embody the feeling of having your desire. When you do, the subconscious mind begins to align with that assumption and starts to guide you toward the actions, opportunities, and experiences that match that belief. In this way, belief is a dynamic force that not only shapes your internal world but also directs your external reality. When you consistently hold the belief that your desires are already fulfilled, your life begins to transform. Opportunities will present themselves that you never thought possible. People will begin to show up in your life who can help you achieve your goals. And you will find that things start to flow effortlessly in the direction of your dreams. It's important to remember that belief is not about forcing things to happen. It is not about striving or struggling to make something work. Belief is about allowing, it is about trusting that everything is already unfolding as it should, and that your desires are already on their way to you. When you believe in the inevitability of your success, you stop working against the flow of life and start working with it. This creates a powerful synergy that propels you forward with ease and grace. So as you go about your day, remember this: you are not limited by what you see in the external world. You are not defined by your current circumstances. You are defined by your belief in what is possible. Your belief is the key to unlocking the reality you desire. By shifting your beliefs, you change your life. And by continuously believing in your own power, you will create the future you envision. The greatest secret to success and fulfillment lies in understanding and mastering the concept of inner control. Many individuals find themselves constantly searching for external solutions, looking for the right opportunities, the right people, or the right circumstances that will bring them the success they desire. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking your dreams is not in the outer world at all, but within you? Your reality is a reflection of your inner state. And when you take full control of your internal world, your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, you unlock the power to change everything around you. The idea that your external reality mirrors your internal world is a profound and life-changing truth. Too often people approach life as though the events, circumstances, and conditions they face are beyond their control. They believe that they are subject to fate, chance, or the actions of others. They might look at their financial situation, their career, or their relationships and feel powerless to change them. But what they fail to understand is that the key to altering their life lies in mastering their inner world, not in trying to manipulate the outer circumstances. The first step in taking control of your inner world is understanding that your thoughts are the root of everything you experience. Every situation, every event, every relationship is a reflection of your thoughts and beliefs. If you change your thoughts, you will change your reality. But this is not a superficial change. This is not about positive thinking or simply wishing for better circumstances. This is about completely altering the way you think about yourself, your life, and your potential. Think about the way you view yourself and the way you view the world. Are you constantly focused on what you lack? Do you spend your time dwelling on what's wrong or what you don't have? If so, you are unconsciously creating more of the same in your life. The law of attraction works not by what you consciously want, but by what you feel and believe at the deepest level. If your internal world is full of feelings of lack, limitation, or fear, the universe will respond by bringing you more experiences that reflect those feelings. But if you change the way you feel and think, if you begin to focus on abundance, possibility, and the success you know you are capable of, the world around you will begin to shift in response. To truly take control of your life, you must learn to monitor and direct your thoughts. This is not an easy task, as your mind is constantly bombarded with external influences and distractions. You are often conditioned by society, your upbringing, and your experiences to think a certain way. These ingrained thought patterns can feel automatic, as though they are part of your nature, but this is a misunderstanding. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are simply patterns that you have accepted as truth. You have the power to change them at any time. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is the ability to consciously choose your thoughts. This is not about suppressing negative thoughts or pretending that everything is perfect when it's not. It's about recognizing the power of your mind to shape your reality and deciding in any given moment to focus on the thoughts that serve you and your goals. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, simply acknowledge it without judgment and then choose to focus on something more empowering. The more you practice this, the more your mind will naturally align with your desires rather than your fears or limitations. This is where the power of imagination comes into play. Imagination is not just a tool for creative expression, it is the very mechanism by which you create your reality. When you imagine something, you are not simply daydreaming or fantasizing about the future. Imagination is a powerful tool that allows you to experience your desires as though they have already come to pass. By vividly imagining yourself in the life you want to live, by seeing, feeling, and experiencing it in your mind, you begin to impress those images and feelings upon your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind, in turn, begins to act in alignment with those new beliefs and assumptions. The key to using your imagination effectively is to fully embody the feeling of already having what you desire. It is not enough to just see the images in your mind, you must also feel the emotions associated with them. Imagine yourself living in the house you want, feeling the joy and gratitude of that accomplishment. Visualize the success you desire in your career and allow yourself to feel the pride and satisfaction of achieving it. This emotional connection is what brings your imagination to life and gives it the power to shape your reality. By practicing this on a daily basis, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your life. Opportunities will begin to show up where there were none before. You will attract people, situations, and experiences that align with the vision you have created in your mind. This is not by chance. This is the result of you taking control of your inner world and directing it toward your desires. Your thoughts, when aligned with your desires and fueled by emotion, begin to manifest in the world around you. But it is not enough to simply imagine and believe in the reality you desire. You must also take action. However, this action does not come from a place of striving or forcing things to happen. It comes from a place of inspired action, which flows naturally from the confidence and inner knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. When you are aligned with your vision, the right actions will present themselves, and you will know exactly what steps to take. These actions will not feel like hard work or struggle, they will feel natural and effortless, because they will be in harmony with the flow of the universe. Taking control of your inner world also means letting go of the need to control the outer world. Too often, people become obsessed with trying to control every detail of their circumstances, from their career to their relationships. But the truth is, you cannot control the world around you directly. What you can control is your response to the world. You can choose how you react to any given situation, and when you choose to respond from a place of inner peace, confidence, and trust in the process of life, you will find that the outer world begins to reflect that inner state. The more you practice mastering your inner world, the more you will realize that you are the creator of your reality. You are not a passive observer of life. You are an active participant in the creation of your experiences. Every thought, every feeling, every belief you hold has the power to shape your world. By consistently choosing thoughts and feelings that align with your desires, you direct the flow of energy in your life and create the reality you wish to experience. So, take a moment to reflect on where you are today, look at your life, and ask yourself, is this the reality I have consciously created, or is it the result of unconscious beliefs and patterns? If it is not the reality you desire, the good news is that you have the power to change it. Start by taking control of your inner world. Change your thoughts, change your feelings, and change your beliefs. When you do, you will see the world around you begin to shift, and the life you desire will unfold before your eyes. Many people go through life feeling as though they are at the mercy of their circumstances. They believe that their past experiences, their current situation, and the people around them dictate the outcome of their lives. They think they must wait for something external to change in order to experience the transformation they desire. But what if I told you that you don't need to wait for external conditions to align before you can change your life? What if the key to unlocking your potential lies not in the world outside of you, but in how you perceive and interact with it? The truth is, you are not a passive observer of life. You are an active participant in the creation of your own reality. One of the most powerful and transformative ideas is the understanding that what you believe to be true is true for you. Your beliefs about yourself, your abilities, and the world around you shape your experience. The external world is not the source of your reality. It is merely a reflection of your inner beliefs and assumptions. This means that if you want to change the world around you, you must first change the way you see yourself and your circumstances. If you change your internal world, the external world has no choice but to follow suit. When you shift your perception of yourself, you shift the very way you experience life. If you believe that you are successful, capable, and deserving, your actions, thoughts, and feelings will naturally align with those beliefs. You will begin to make decisions and take actions that reflect your sense of worth and confidence. On the other hand, if you believe that success is beyond your reach or that you are not deserving of it, your actions and decisions will reflect those beliefs as well. You will inadvertently create barriers that prevent you from achieving your goals because your internal belief system is not aligned with your desires. At the core of this concept is the idea of self-meaning, the mental picture you hold of yourself. Your self-meaning is shaped by your thoughts, experiences, and beliefs, and it determines how you interact with the world. If you see yourself as capable and confident, you will act in a way that reflects that belief, and opportunities will open up for you. If you see yourself as incapable or unworthy, you will act in a way that reinforces those beliefs, and you will find that the world reflects that sense of limitation back to you. The process of changing your life, therefore, begins with changing your self-image. If you desire a life of success, fulfillment, and abundance, you must first see yourself as a person who is worthy of those things. This shift may not happen overnight, but it is a gradual process that requires consistent effort and focus. One of the most effective ways to change your self-image. Visualization is the process of vividly imagining yourself as the person you want to become and experiencing the emotions and feelings associated with that version of yourself. When you engage in visualization, you are essentially rehearsing the future you desire. By seeing yourself in your mind's eye already living the life you want, you begin to internalize that image and create new neural pathways that support your new self-image. This process helps to break down old, limiting beliefs and replace them with new, empowering ones. For instance, if you wish to attract financial abundance into your life, begin by visualizing yourself as someone who is financially secure, someone who moves confidently in the world with a sense of abundance. Imagine how it feels to be free from worry about money, to have the resources you need to live comfortably, and to be able to help others. As you engage in this practice, notice the feelings that arise within you. Do you feel excited, grateful, or empowered? These feelings are a reflection of the new beliefs you are building about yourself. By consistently visualizing this new version of yourself and embodying the emotions associated with it, you are gradually reprogramming your subconscious mind to accept this new reality as true. Visualization alone, however, is not enough. It is essential to couple this practice with affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that reinforce the new beliefs you are creating about yourself. For example, you might affirm, "I am worthy of success," or "Abundance flows easily into my life." When you repeat these affirmations daily, you are reinforcing the beliefs that align with the life you want to create. Over time, your subconscious mind begins to accept these affirmations as truth, and they become the foundation of your self-perceive. But the key to this process is emotion. Affirmations and visualization are not merely intellectual exercises. They must be infused with emotion. When you feel the emotions associated with your new beliefs, the feelings of gratitude, joy, excitement, or fulfillment, you activate the creative power of your mind. Emotion is the driving force that propels your desires into manifestation. When you feel the emotions of having already achieved your desires, you create a powerful energetic alignment between your inner world and the outer world. This alignment makes it easier for your desires to flow into your reality. Another important aspect of changing your self-mean is acting as if. Acting as if is the practice of living and behaving as though your desires are already fulfilled. It's about stepping into the version of yourself that you want to become and embodying that person in the present moment. If you want to be more confident, start acting confident now. If you want to be wealthy, begin making decisions and taking actions that reflect a mindset of abundance. The more you act as if your desires are already a reality, the more natural it will feel to embody those beliefs, and the more quickly your reality will begin to shift to match them. Of course, this process requires patience and persistence. Changing your self-image doesn't happen overnight, but it is entirely within your control. As you continue to visualize, affirm, and act as if, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your life. Opportunities will begin to present themselves. Your confidence will grow. And most importantly, your perception of yourself will change. You will begin to see yourself as the person you've always wanted to be, and the world around you will begin to reflect that new self-commune. The beauty of this process is that you are not waiting for something external to change. You are taking control of your internal world and aligning it with the life you want to create. By changing your self-immune, you change your reality. The power to transform your life lies within you. You are not a passive bystander in your own life. You are the creator of your experience. When you take control of your inner world and see yourself as the person you want to become, you unlock the power to manifest the life of your dreams. The power to shape your life and manifest your desires lies in the understanding of one key principle: living in the end. This principle is not just a nice idea, it is the foundation upon which all success is built. To manifest your desires, you must first shift your consciousness to the state of having already achieved your goal. You must learn to live, think, and act from the place where your wish has already been fulfilled. This is the law of assumption in action. You assume that your desire is already a reality, and from that assumption, your life begins to reflect your belief. It is common for people to approach life from the standpoint of wishing, wanting, or waiting for something to happen. They may say, "I want to be successful," or "I wish I had more money," but this constant state of desire keeps them stuck in a cycle of lack. The key to breaking this cycle is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you would feel like if your desire were already a reality. The moment you do this, you begin to shift your inner world to align with the outcome you wish to experience. When you adopt the mindset of already having what you want, you are no longer acting from a place of lack or need. You are acting from a place of fulfillment, abundance, and confidence. This shift in perception is what allows you to transcend your current circumstances and create a new reality. The external world, after all, is simply a reflection of your internal state. If you continuously live as though your desire is already fulfilled, the universe will have no choice but to bring that reality to fruition. The process of living in the end involves more than just wishing for something to happen. It requires a deep internal shift where you see yourself already in possession of what you desire. For example, if you are striving for financial abundance, instead of focusing on the lack of money or the struggle of getting there, you must begin to feel as if you already have the financial freedom you desire. What would you do if money were no object? How would you feel if your bank account was overflowing with abundance? The key is to feel those emotions now, in the present moment, as though you have already achieved that goal. This feeling is not something that can be manufactured through effort or force. It is a natural result of deeply believing that your desire is already true. When you embody the feeling of fulfillment, you begin to act in accordance with that feeling. Your thoughts, decisions, and actions will naturally align with the belief that your desire is already realized. In doing so, you begin to attract the people, circumstances, and opportunities that reflect this new state of being. The key to this transformation is feeling. It is not enough to think about your desires, you must also feel the emotions of having them already. The beauty of this principle is that it applies to all areas of life. Whether you are seeking success in your career, improved health, harmonious relationships, or financial freedom, the process remains the same. You must consistently live from the state of already having your desire fulfilled. Imagine yourself already in your dream job, already enjoying vibrant health, or already living in the home of your dreams. Allow yourself to feel the emotions of success, joy, and gratitude as though these things are already a part of your life. These emotions will not only lift your spirits, but will begin to create the necessary conditions for those desires to manifest in your physical reality. Living in the end does not mean you ignore the present moment. It means you transcend your present circumstances and see them as stepping stones toward the realization of your desires. When you are living in the end, you are not concerned with the how, the when, or the specifics of how your desires will unfold. You trust that the process will unfold perfectly, as long as you maintain the belief that your desire is already fulfilled. This level of trust is crucial. It is the belief that you do not have to worry about the details because the universe is already aligning everything to bring your desire into manifestation. This shift in mindset is not always easy, especially when external circumstances seem to contradict your desires. But it is during these moments of doubt and uncertainty that living in the end becomes most important. When things seem difficult or out of reach, you must cling to the belief that your desire is already true, even if you cannot yet see it with your physical eyes. This is where faith plays a vital role. Faith is not belief in the unseen, it is the unwavering conviction that what you desire is already done, and your outer world will soon reflect that truth. The more you practice living in the end, the more natural it will feel. The less you focus on the lack and struggle, the more you will see your desires coming to fruition in your physical reality. One of the most effective ways to embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled is through imagination. Imagination is a powerful tool because it allows you to vividly experience your desires as if they are already a reality. When you imagine yourself living the life you want, feel the emotions that would naturally arise from that reality. For example, if you are imagining a successful business, picture yourself in your office, meeting clients, making deals, and feeling the pride and fulfillment of having built something meaningful. As you do this, fully immerse yourself in the emotions of success and hold on to that feeling as if it is already true. Imagination does not require any external validation. It is an internal process. And the more real you make it in your mind, the more quickly it will manifest in your physical world. The emotions that you generate through your imagination are what create the vibrational frequency that aligns with the reality you desire. Your emotions are the language of the universe. When you feel the emotions of already having your desire, you are sending a powerful message to the universe that you are aligned with your goal. Living in the end is a commitment to your vision. It is a decision to stop allowing the external world to dictate your internal state. Instead of waiting for the perfect circumstances to align before you feel fulfilled, you make the conscious choice to feel fulfilled now. The more you practice living from this place of assumption, the quicker your desires will begin to materialize in your life. Your assumption, coupled with your emotions and faith, creates the perfect environment for your dreams to come to life. In conclusion, the principle of living in the end is one of the most powerful tools for manifestation. By shifting your consciousness to the state of already having your desire, you create a powerful alignment between your inner world and the outer world. This alignment opens the door to opportunities, resources, and experiences that are in harmony with your desire. The key is to consistently live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, trusting that the universe will bring everything into alignment for you. As you continue to live in the end, you will notice that the world around you begins to reflect your internal state, and the life you desire will unfold before you. Every person, regardless of their current circumstances, has the ability to create their desired reality. But in order to understand how to truly create the life you want, you must first grasp the profound idea that your imagination is the key to your success. The most successful individuals throughout history were not simply lucky or born with extraordinary circumstances. They were individuals who knew how to harness the power of their minds and use their imagination to shape their reality. Imagination is often misunderstood. Many people think of it simply as daydreaming or wishing for something. But imagination is not a fleeting thought or idle fantasy. It is a creative, powerful force that shapes your reality. It is the means by which you bring your desires into the world of form. The key is not just to imagine what you want, but to truly believe and experience that it is already yours. The more vivid and emotionally charged your imagination, the more potent your creative ability becomes. When you imagine, you are not simply picturing an abstract idea, you are entering a state of creation. Imagine a world where everything is possible. In this world, there are no limitations, no obstacles. Your mind can conjure up any scenario, and it can do so with the vividness and intensity of actual experience. The difference between successful creators and those who remain stuck in their circumstances is that successful creators do not just imagine the future they desire, they live in the feeling of that future now. They imagine the reality they want and then experience it with all of their senses as if it has already happened. It is this process of living in the end that allows you to manifest your desires. When you imagine yourself already in possession of what you desire, you start to generate feelings associated with that possession. These feelings are not just empty emotions, they are a direct reflection of your subconscious beliefs. By imagining your desire is already fulfilled, you effectively impress your subconscious mind with the idea that this reality is inevitable. Your subconscious, which governs your actions, decisions, and perceptions, begins to align itself with this new truth. Your thoughts, which are the blueprint of your reality, begin to take shape in accordance with your inner assumptions. The power of imagination is that it is not confined by the limitations of the physical world. While the physical world operates according to the rules of time and space, your imagination operates beyond these boundaries. In your imagination, there are no limits. If you can imagine it, you can create it. This is why so many great inventors, artists, and entrepreneurs have spoken about the importance of imagination. It is not enough to have a goal or a desire. You must be able to see it, feel it, and experience it in your mind's eye before it can materialize in the physical world. The process of using imagination is simple yet profound. It starts with defining exactly what it is that you want. You must be specific about your desires, because vagueness will only create confusion. The more detailed you can be about the life you want to create, the more powerful your imagination will be. Whether it's a new job, a loving relationship, financial freedom, or personal growth, it all begins with a clear mental image of what you want to manifest. Once you have defined your desire, it is time to imagine it vividly. Imagine every detail of the situation as if it is happening right now. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, and touch it. Immerse yourself in the experience of already having it. If you are imagining a new job, for example, picture yourself walking into the office, feeling confident and excited. Hear the conversations, smell the coffee brewing, and feel the satisfaction of a fulfilling career. Imagine the emotions of gratitude and success. Allow yourself to feel the joy of already having your desire. The more real this experience feels, the more powerful the effect on your subconscious mind. But imagination is not just about creating a mental image. It is about embodying the feeling that comes with your imagined reality. The emotional aspect is key to this process. The stronger the emotion that accompanies your imagination, the more it will impress your subconscious mind. Emotions are the language of the subconscious. When you feel deeply about something, you impress those feelings upon your subconscious, which then begins to alter your outer reality to match that feeling. If you can consistently imagine and feel your desire as already fulfilled, you are creating a magnetic force that attracts your desire to you. In this way, your imagination becomes a tool for transformation. It is not a passive daydream, but an active creative force that shapes your life. This is where many people go wrong. They believe that imagination is just a harmless pastime. They imagine their desires for a brief moment, and then they let the thoughts drift away without any belief or emotional investment. But true manifestation requires more than just casual thinking. It requires persistent and emotionally charged imagining day in and day out. The key to success in this process is consistency. Your imagination must not be sporadic or casual. You must live in the end result, in the feeling of already having your desire every day. This is how you reprogram your subconscious mind, changing the mental habits and beliefs that have been limiting your success. The more consistently you imagine your desired reality, the more your outer world will begin to change to match that inner state. Another essential element of imagination is belief. If you imagine something but do not believe it is possible, then your imagination will not have the desired effect. Belief is what fuels the power of imagination. When you imagine your desire, you must also believe that it is already on its way to you. This belief reinforces the mental image and ensures that your subconscious mind receives the message that the desire is already fulfilled. The more you practice belief alongside your imagination, the quicker your desires will manifest. The great power of imagination is that it allows you to create the life you want, regardless of your current circumstances. If you are not satisfied with your life as it is, you have the ability to change it. By changing the way you think, the way you imagine, and the way you feel, you can bring about a complete transformation. The external world is simply a reflection of your inner world through imagination. You will see the world around you shift as well. Every person is capable of harnessing the power of their imagination. It is not reserved for a select few or those who are born with special talents. Imagination is an innate human ability, and it is available to everyone. Whether you are seeking wealth, success, love, or health, the key to manifesting your desires lies in your ability to use your imagination effectively. When you begin to imagine your desires as already fulfilled, feel the emotions associated with them, and believe in their inevitability, you will activate a powerful creative force that will begin to bring your dreams into reality. The nature of reality is often misunderstood, and as a result, many individuals continue to struggle with the idea of manifesting their desires. They see the external world as separate from their inner world and feel powerless to change their circumstances. However, the truth is that the external world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner beliefs, thoughts, and assumptions. Understanding this truth is the key to unlocking the power of your mind to shape your reality. The world around you is a mirror that reflects what you believe to be true about yourself, your life, and the universe. By changing your beliefs, you can change your external reality. The idea that the outer world is a reflection of your inner state is not just a philosophical or metaphysical concept. It is a fundamental law of the universe. Your beliefs, assumptions, and thoughts create your reality. The things that happen in your life, the people you encounter, the experiences you have, are all shaped by your inner state of mind. If you want to change your life, you must begin by changing the way you think and feel about it. One of the most powerful ways to change your life is through the practice of mental imagery and assumption. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you align your inner world with the desired outcome, and the external world has no choice but to reflect that. This is because the subconscious mind cannot differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. When you vividly imagine a specific outcome and believe it to be true, the subconscious mind accepts it as reality and begins to create the conditions necessary for that outcome to manifest. The subconscious mind works tirelessly to bring into being the images and feelings you impress upon it. The challenge many people face is that they are often too focused on the external circumstances of their lives. They see the lack of money, the dissatisfaction in their relationships, or the absence of success as proof that they are powerless. However, this is a false perception. The external world is not the cause of your circumstances. It is merely a reflection of your inner beliefs and assumptions. If you change the way you perceive yourself and the world will begin to change to reflect that new perception. A powerful technique to shift your perception and create the reality you desire is through living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled and living as though your desire has already been realized. For example, if you desire financial abundance, you must begin to imagine yourself already in possession of the wealth you desire. Feel the emotions of gratitude, excitement, and freedom that would arise if you were already financially secure. Live from that feeling as if the money has already come. When you live in the end result, your subconscious mind begins to align with this new truth, and your external circumstances will eventually reflect it. It is essential to recognize that feeling is the secret to this process. The emotions you experience are the key to changing your internal state and creating a new external reality. The subconscious mind is primarily influenced by emotion. If you can generate the feeling of having your desire already fulfilled, you impress that feeling upon your subconscious and it begins to act on your behalf to bring that desire into being. The more intense and vivid the emotion, the more powerfully it influences the subconscious mind. When you focus on the feeling of your desire already being fulfilled, you begin to align yourself with the vibration of that desire. Everything in the universe operates according to vibration, and like attracts like. When you embody the feeling of abundance, success, or love, you begin to attract those same qualities into your life. The law of attraction is not just about wishing for something. It is about becoming the person who already possesses it. You must align your inner world with the world you wish to create, and the outer world will follow. It's important to understand that the process of manifestation is not something that happens in the future. It happens now. The moment you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are planting the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. This seed will eventually grow into the circumstances, events, and people that reflect that desire. The key is to remain focused on the feeling of fulfillment and not be swayed by the current appearance of things. When you continue to live from the feeling of already having your desire, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your life. Opportunities will present themselves. You will begin to meet the right people. Synchronicities will occur. The more you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the more the universe will rearrange itself to accommodate your new perception. The practice of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled also requires patience and persistence. It is not enough to imagine your desire once and then forget about it. You must consistently live from the feeling of already having it. This is where many people falter. They try imagining their desire once or twice, and when they don't see immediate results, they give up. However, the key to success lies in your ability to persist in your assumption, even when the outer world does not immediately reflect it. This persistence is not about forcing the outcome or trying to manipulate reality. It is about faith that the inner world will eventually be reflected in the outer world. Faith is the belief that the seed you plant in your subconscious mind will grow and manifest in your life. The more you nurture this faith, the quicker your desires will begin to materialize. Many people also struggle with doubt. Doubt arises when the outer world does not yet reflect their desires, and they begin to question whether the process is truly working. But doubt is simply the result of relying on external appearances. When you are focused on your inner state of being and the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are no longer concerned with the outer world. You know that it is only a matter of time before your internal world is mirrored by your external circumstances. The more you persist in your assumption, the more certain you will become that your desire is already on its way. To truly change your life, you must be willing to let go of the idea that external circumstances have any power over you. Your reality is not determined by what happens around you, but by the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs you hold within you. When you change your inner world, the outer world will change to match it. The external world is only a reflection of your internal state. When you live from the end, assuming the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, you become a magnet for the circumstances, people, and experiences that reflect that reality. In conclusion, the power to change your life lies within you. By understanding that the outer world is a reflection of your inner beliefs, assumptions, and feelings, you can begin to shift your reality. The practice of living, in the end, assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and maintaining faith in the process, will lead you to manifest your desires. Trust that your desires are already on their way and remain focused on the feeling of fulfillment. The more you practice this, the more you will see your external world shift to reflect your inner truth. All that you seek, all that you dream of, all that you desire, already exists within you. You were never meant to chase the world outside you, for the truth is, the outer world is only a mirror reflecting what you hold in consciousness. Every step you've taken, every success you've claimed, and every dollar you've ever attracted all began in the unseen, in the invisible workshop of your mind. From a mere $7 to 8 million, what seemed impossible to the world was made inevitable by one unwavering law, that your inner world creates your outer. Your thoughts are not random, they are seeds. Your imagination is not idle, it is divine cause. Your assumptions are not powerless, they are the foundations upon which reality stands. When you learn to live from the end, when you feel the joy, the gratitude, the richness of a dream already fulfilled, you are no longer waiting, you are creating. You are not hoping, you are knowing. And this is not reserved for the few. This power is not exclusive to a select kind. It is within everyone, and it responds not to effort, but to belief, not to action, but to assumption, not to struggle, but to faith. Persist, assume the feeling, trust the unseen, and above all, remember this: you do not need to wait for change to come. You only need to awaken to who you truly are. Because once you realize that the world moves in harmony with your inner vision, you will never again ask, how will it happen? Instead, you will say with quiet confidence, it is done.